Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 and the rumors that are going around now. These rumors have kind of been around for a while, but they were pretty quiet up until recently, and then it started getting picked up a little bit more by like mainstream outlets. There were apparently some insiders who were talking about that, oh, it's going to cost $100 to get Grand Theft Auto 6 at launch. Now, it sounds kind of weird just from like the perspective of being a customer used to spending like $60 or $70 on a AAA game, but it really does look pretty possible that GTA 6 is going to be $100 when it comes out. Now, obviously, I'm pretty curious to see how people are going to react to this. So far, the reaction I've seen has been pretty negative, which go figure, but there have been some people who have stepped out to defend the fact that GTA 6 is possibly going to cost $100 at launch. Now, one of these people were XQC. There was a quote that got posted by Dexerto that says, gamers will sprinkle $300 worth of skins in a year, but suddenly $100 is too much. Now, I both agree with this take and disagree with it, but I think that the whole point here misses the larger point of why GTA 6 costing $100 at launch will actually be a problem. So I wanted to talk about that in this video because everybody is kind of just fixated on that price point when it comes to this game, but I don't really think most people are looking like long-term, what will be the effect, right? If this actually goes through, what can we expect everybody else to do? Now, I do agree with XQC on the point that, yeah, people will spend hundreds of dollars on skins for a game that'll be out for like a year, right? And then when you ask them to spend $100 on what'll probably be one of the most anticipated game releases ever, right? All of a sudden, it's a problem. I can understand where that point comes from, but I think it's too short-sighted. And the reason I think it's too short-sighted is this. So I don't think many people will deny that GTA 6 will probably be worth $100. I mean, even myself, right? If I have to pay $100 for GTA 6, I guess I gotta bite the bullet, right? Because I'm gonna play Grand Theft Auto. I mean, it's one of my favorite franchises. I've never not really enjoyed GTA. I mean, even in GTA 5, just across like PS3, PS4, and PC now, I have thousands of hours logged into that game. So breaking it down, you know, you pay $100 to get the game, I'll probably end up spending less than a penny per hour on GTA 6, like in terms of all the gameplay, all the online gameplay, all the shit. And of course, me, I run a YouTube channel where I play video games basically for a living, right? I'm probably gonna make my money back on GTA 6 the day it comes out. So for someone like me, I get it, right? You know, I can afford it or whatever, but I think the problem also lies where $70, which is the standard now in AAA gaming, that's already kind of stretching it for a lot of people out there, right? I mean, the world we live in today, you know, the economy, I think the economy for the last few years has been doing a lot worse than people and like all the metrics are suggesting. So we're at this point where, you know, a lot of people, we're out here struggling to make it through life. You know, people are out here working 40-hour weeks and they're barely getting their bills paid and shit. So suddenly it looks kind of weird, right? When you're trying to justify to your girlfriend or to yourself or whatever, right? Yeah, I'm spending $100 on this game, but I did look this one fact up because I was like, okay, obviously video games are a hobby where you have to have like some discretionary income you can kind of just do whatever with. So I decided to look up how much money does the average person who plays video games spend on the hobby in a single year, and the yearly average for a gamer to spend is almost $1,000. To be more specific, it's $912 a year. So about $76 a month on average, which makes sense because a game after tax now is about, well, 76 bucks. But also this stat is skewed because there's some people who spend $10 a month on video games, and there's some people who spend probably like thousands, right? Like if they're addicted or they're just buying skins or whatever. So that fact was kind of odd to me. I thought it would be lower, but it kind of makes sense. So that would be about, you know, 1 out of 9 of every dollars basically that you spend on gaming per year for GTA 6. I think if the whole thing happens, right, and the game comes out at $100, it's still gonna sell. But my problem isn't justifying like spending that much money on Grand Theft Auto because I know I'll probably be happy with the game anyway. anyway, right? At least satisfied with the purchase. But my problem is what happens with everybody else. Now, obviously, the gaming industry is kind of like a monkey see, monkey do type industry. One company will typically come in and they'll do something that nobody else is doing. They'll switch everything up, and then if they get successful doing it, suddenly every other fucking company on the planet wants to try and replicate that. And we've seen it over the last decade especially. Back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, only a couple, if some games, were basically doing the whole microtransaction thing. But then of course, when games like GTA Online, Call of Duty, Madden, Fortnite, games like this started coming up with new concepts to introduce microtransactions on a larger and larger scale, suddenly now every fucking game has microtransactions. There are indie games that are coming out with microtransactions. Basically every AAA title to some degree now has microtransactions. Either you're buying a season pass, or you're buying skins, or you're buying music tracks, or you're buying cut levels and content. You know what I mean? You're buying something. And same thing with free to play. There were, back in the day, free to play games. They were like MMORPGs, shit like that, right? But now everybody is doing the free to play model. Even if it's not a free to play game, even if they're actually charging $70, the normal for AAA games, they're still doing what everybody else is doing to supplement their income. So my thing is, I don't see that trend suddenly changing when this much money is on the table. I mean, $30 a copy, right? Just to do, once again, some basic math here. If you sell 1 million copies of your game and you hike the price from 70 to 100, you have now generated an extra $30 million in revenue. And the thing is, there's obviously money in the gaming industry for this to happen. I mean, if people are spending $900 a year on games anyway, on the baseline average, there's gonna be people out there willing to pay $100 for a game. So I did tweet this opinion out yesterday, and I saw some of the comments, just seeing what people thought. And I'd love to hear what you think too. Make sure you comment down below what you think about all this. But there were people who seemed to be under the impression that oh, well, if all video games go to $100, then people are gonna see through it and they're gonna stop paying for this shit, right? They're just gonna boycott the gaming industry. They're gonna boycott all of their favorite gaming franchises to make it known they're not gonna pay $100 for the game, man. You gotta just not buy it. But the issue with this is the same fucking logic we've all been using for the gaming industry for over a decade now anyway. This was the same argument we were trying to get people to understand in the Call of Duty community in 2016. Well, if you guys just don't buy the microtransactions or the loot boxes or whatever, then there'll be incentive for them to remove it. But then, of course, for all the people who decide not to do it, right? For all the people who decide to not spend all that money or whatever, there's 5 or 6 different casual gamers who are going to step in and fill the void that you've created with your money. So the same thing is going to happen here because it's Grand Theft Auto 6. People are not just going to fucking boycott the game and not buy it. It's going to be the best-selling game probably of all time by the time it's all said and done. It's going to break records when it comes out. The game could be $500, and I'm almost certain that a lot of people out there would still buy the game. They would still definitely make some money off the product. So the unfortunate part, in my opinion, is no matter as what you do as a consumer, it doesn't matter because there's so many people playing video games now, and there's so many people who, they don't think about video games the way that we might think about them. You deciding to boycott the game is unfortunately not gonna matter when it comes to trying to do some sort of price boycott. I mean, just think 20, 25 years ago, video games were $40, $50 a pop. And they're already up to 70. So they've already been stretching even more, trying to get more money out of it. Now, obviously, I think a big catalyst for why this transition is starting, whatever, right? According to the insiders, is because every fucking video game now has this massively bloated budget. I mean, even GTA 6, according to the industry, has cost $2 billion to make that game alone. $2 billion on one game. They will probably make that money back without a problem. Some of the industry forecasts suggest that in the first year, it's going to make $3.2 billion, right? But even then, $2 billion is an unfathomable, it's a ridiculous amount of money to spend on making an entertainment product. And even games now that aren't GTA 6, like Call of Duty, games like that, they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars per year to put these games out. So every video game has a budget that is just ridiculous at this point, right? They're outpacing Hollywood in their like high feature film productions and how much money that they're putting into this shit. So I think they're gonna try and use that as like the justification, like, oh, well, we're spending more and more. We have to make a return. We have to. But I think we all know, I mean, half these games could be made with like a third of the budget that they're currently spending. And a lot of the shit that they're paying for is just bloat. They're trying to fucking turn their games into freemium content and whatnot. And so, you know, they're bloating the budget of these games. But that's the thing. They have the reason already in place to justify doing this across the board in the industry. And if GTA 6 is going to come out and be this massive player in the industry like we all expect it to be, it's definitely going to set some precedents. It's going to set up everybody else to try and make this jump too. I'm telling you, within like 5 years, if this is like what happens, right? Within 5 years, the gaming industry, other people will be trying to do this. You'll be seeing fucking NBA 2K come out and try to do this. You'll be seeing Madden, other games, right? They're going to try and do it. I mean, if you think about it, they're already in a lot of these games getting your $100 out of you anyway. Even if you spend 70. In Call of Duty, I mean, shit, half these like skin bundles in the past couple years have been like $25. So people are already spending the money. I mean, that point is already clear enough, but are people going to be willing to pay that up front? Probably so. I mean, what really incentivizes people not to? The concept of piracy is almost completely out the window. Unfortunately, we lost that battle with the mainstream gaming community already, and everybody's going to want to play it, and everyone's going to want to keep playing video games. So I think this is going to really lead us down a bad path. Like I said, do I really question that GTA 6 itself will be worth $100? No, I'm pretty sure, right? It's going to be worth that money. Is NBA 2K worth $100 from now on? Absolutely not. It's already not even worth 70. Same thing with like Madden and all these other games. They're worth what you can pay for EA Play or Microsoft Game Pass or whatever, right? But this is the direction I think we're going to be heading, unfortunately, in gaming. No matter how good this game is, everybody else is going to want to carve up a larger piece of the pie. And I really don't think it's going to be a good thing for the gaming industry at large. I don't think it's going to solve the budget bloat problem. I don't think it's going to solve any of the quality problems for sure. And also, I'm pretty certain that the devs and the people actually making these games that we all love, they're not going to be getting any bonuses. They're not going to be getting any larger paychecks. They're going to be making the same corporate wage that they're already making, while the people running EA and Activision and all these other companies, they're the ones who are about to be pocketing that extra $30. So I don't know, man. Pretty insane to think that games will cost this much in the future. But like I said, everyone's going to see GTA do this if this is what happens, and they're going to want a piece too. So I just wanted to throw that out there and kind of talk about it. With that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus talking about GTA 6 costing $100 and signing out.